All right, yeah, we good. All right, so off this rejection zone right here, I took a trade right off of that because we see that it rejected right here where that wick is, and then it came up and rejected again, and it made it up to close to this next level up above. Came back down, made a higher low, made another higher low, and then at this point it was just kind of like in the consolidation, but it was still making higher lows. So once we got to the open, what was that? Yesterday at the Asian Open, we see that we could have marked our orb right there, and we could have took an entry off the orb, or we could have took an entry just seeing that it was continually making higher lows and higher highs. So since it was making higher lows and higher highs, we know that it was going to be an uptrend. Um, so that's pretty much why I took this trade. Um, and I took it after this last higher low where the orb is marked. So that was pretty much like my confluence right there. Because I know that we're in an uptrend, but the orb just kind of confirmed it a little bit better for a better entry. But as I've always said before, whenever you got a higher low next to a key level, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna shoot up, and it's been doing that over and over and over. So it's done that multiple times. Um, so once price got to this green line right here, which is 42.13. I had that marked from like maybe a week or two ago. And so I knew just based on that line, which I'll show in a second why I did that, that price would be bullish above this line because technically we're looking at indications right here. That yellow line that's going through that gray, I mean, that yellow candle that's going through that gray box. Let's see if I can mark it. Let's see. This one right here. That was our indication. And so whenever we have an indication that comes correction, right? So we see it was kind of like bouncing back and forth. It was giving us a couple of rejections, and then when I got that long ass wick right there, that was just because the market had stopped for that second. But you see, once it got back online, that it kind of went up, rejected up there, which they tried to trick people to think that the price is going to go all the way back down. But we know that this level, um, my bad. We know that this level. Let me turn my do not disturb on. Um, we know that this gray level right here. Man, what am I doing? My bad, y'all. This I think my screen stopped sharing. The fuck? I don't know what the hell going on. Um, but yeah, so my bad. So yeah, they trying to basically trick people out to think that the price is gonna go all the way back down. But we know that we already got rejections off of this level that the arrow was pointing at right now. So we got what, one, two, three, four, and we had a slight push up. So that kind of let us know that, oh, okay, hey, this looks like we're about to start going into an uptrend because technically that first rejection is a higher low. So then it made a high because it broke the levels onto the left. Then it went down, made another higher low, and then from there, you see prices continued up. So that's why I like to look at market structure because it pretty much tell you what's going on. So once it indicated to correct it, it made a higher low. It broke, made a higher high. So now we're just looking for one more higher low. And the wick that happened when the market closed doesn't really count because it was a big glitch. So we don't really trip off of that one because technically that broke all the swing lows or whatever. So we can't really trip off of that. But we see that it kept making higher highs, then it made a higher low, broke again, made another high, made a higher low. So once you get a couple of those, you can kind of confirm that it's going to be an uptrend. And then yeah, eventually it shot off of that level and just went all the way up. So I think this trade I took yesterday, and I put my stop loss below the last swing, which will be down here. I'm gonna put it like around here, and then I pretty much risked my or I managed my risk. So I think I put like two micros just to secure my position, just in case, so I could have my stop loss super low, just in case you try to wake me out or whatever. And then once I got back above 42.13, and I added the rest of my contracts on. And then that's how I pretty much got that trade. And I usually like to keep my stop loss below the zones because you technically see that if that glitch never happened, price would have never went down that far. It would have stayed right at that zone. It would have kept going up, and your stop loss placed below that, you would have been good for letting your sale just run. So when I got in there last night, I honestly forgot I even had it open because when the market had froze, I didn't even close it. It just kind of kept going once it started going. And then when I woke up this morning, I think that trade played out at like 16,000. So yeah, that's why I like to catch these big type of moves because um you can just keep getting money. Money's gonna keep going. You could get longer RRs if that's something that you like. But me personally, I like to go for a dollar amount because you can make a good amount of money within 10 to 15 points if you see like an A plus setup. So I would consider this an A plus setup because it broke the zone, indicated it pretty much retested the zone again. We seen that it wasn't breaking it, it was holding it. And then also we was above the 42.13 and we had an orb marked down here. So I mean this like the perfect setup to use the orb and the ICC method together. Like literally, you could have got in at this orb push up um, and could have made all of that whole trend up. That would have been a nice, depending on what you leverage, 5-figure trade for sure. That's how I'm pretty much. That's pretty much why I took that. How I took it. What made me want to take it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. Hopefully, explained it good enough. If not, I'll try to explain it again. Probably even make a video that I could just have it posted. Um, and then yeah, go from there. So hopefully that helped. Again, trading isn't too hard. It's really just about reading market structure, um, knowing what to look for, knowing the setups, and relying on what the market is telling you with price action. Um, yeah, a lot of my trades this month was really just based off of the orb and just market structure. It wasn't really nothing else that I used. So yeah, man. Hopefully that helps. Um, And yeah, like I said, I'll get on here again and explain it again. I'll actually explain all the trades I took this week because they all pretty much got the same type of setup. You're looking at market structure, you're looking at where the zones are nearby, and using your orb as a confluence, and then you can use your EMAs as a confluence as well to continue riding like a certain wave or a certain trend that's going on. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much for the most part how I do it. And if you're just now starting out, I would suggest waiting to see the zones. Like once you get your zones marked out, start waiting to see or start waiting until a price gets around these zones and then make a decision based off what's happening off the zone. And the reason I say that is because it's likely to reject a zone and you can ride the whole wave back up and then you'll have a safe area for your stop losses. Usually when these zones get rejected, the price doesn't go below it. But that's like another way that you could kind of have a trade that you can actually keep open for a while and not worry too much about your stop loss or getting wicked out or stuff like that. Because as we can see on that trade I just showed y'all, the price never came back down if it wasn't for that glitch that happened. So yeah, man. Hope y'all like that. Hopefully it's a good explanation. I tried to do it as best I could, but I'll try again if anybody else wants me to explain like a different setup that I took. So y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man. I'll see y'all on Monday.
Well, thank you for explaining. Oh, he dropped off. I was gonna say thank you. Thank y'all. See y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Je vois